Front did move through, but high temperatures were still hot, upper 80s and topped out at 90 degrees at Kenner. Our average for this time of year, mid-October, should be 83, and we were only 2 degrees off of the record. Today was more or less the transition day with the humidity coming down, and that has been key. Dew points right now in the 60s, even drier air to our north. That will continue moving in. So we typically see our dew points kind of spike during the late evening and also the early morning hours, and then kind of come down during the afternoon. And so the expectation is that they'll come down a bit more for tomorrow and even more so for the weekend. Dew points in the 50s really feels nice, and that is probably more or less our first real taste of fall. And high temperatures won't be as brutal as they have been the last several days. Even today, 90 degrees, 89 right now. However, with the lowering humidity right now at only 46%, there isn't as much of a heat index, whereas the last few days we've gotten into the low 90s and heat indices at almost 100 degrees in October. Front is through. We knew it wasn't going to be a dramatic shift from cool, dry air right behind the front. We're kind of waiting with this northerly wind to keep pushing that milder, not really cooler, milder air mass in. Although our mornings will be a few degrees cooler, we're expecting 50s and 60s. Plenty of sunshine though, and with a northeasterly wind over the next several days, really throughout the entire weekend. Gorgeous weather with mostly sunny skies. Really didn't see a deep upper trough. That is what would have helped to bring in cooler, or maybe even for some of us, colder air. That was not the case with this system. The upper energy stayed well to the north. Now what's going to be interesting is that we will see some upper troughing along the east coast. What that is actually going to help to do is develop a nor'easter off the east coast with some high winds, seas, as well as some heavy rainfall. Not exactly a tropical system, but certainly just as potentially strong for the east coast. For us though, not an issue. As a matter of fact, we're going to see a building upper level ridge, which while it does help to keep the humidity down, it will start heating us back up. So our cool snap lasts through the weekend with highs in the lower 80s, but by next week, mid and upper 80s are back. And our temperature outlook after this weekend is a high likelihood of us running again above average. However, this upper pattern is good with regards to the tropics. Not that we're expecting any development. Models right now very weak signals going right through October 15th for anything to develop close to home. And I've said after October 15th, that is usually when we breathe that sigh of relief, because anything that is formed on or after October 15th within 100 miles of New Orleans, we've only had 2 tropical storms, one Cat 1, one Cat 2, and only one major hurricane, and that was Zeta, which was again in that crazy year of hyperactivity. So typically you're not looking at storms that you're leaving for. And as of right now, the only active named storm is Jerry. It is kind of moving toward the islands right now. We have one little area, kind of a non-tropical low that the Hurricane Center has tagged in the North Atlantic. Otherwise, tropical storm Jerry moving near the islands through tonight and into tomorrow. It'll make a turn toward the north and also eventually a northeasterly turn away from Bermuda. So another one of those basically fish storms. That's what we've seen a lot of this season, and it looks like maybe we'll kind of wrap up the season soon. 83 our high tomorrow, so a little bit milder in the afternoons, and that's at least near normal. Normal high is 83, so we'll be basically average. Morning lows in the 50s and 60s though, so a little coolness to the air, especially on the North Shore with a lot of sunshine. Again, with that upper ridge building in, gradually warming, but staying with low humidity through next week.